It's time again for TC Muzique. Welcome to Thursday evening in Studio A. That would make me Mr. Swizzo, and so what? Well, welcome to good studying weather for the end of everybody's school year. I hope your finals have all gone well. Coming up tomorrow night, downtown, in one of our old favorites, 7th Street Entry, the return of one of the grand old young men, Tommy Stinson, comes home. He's been working all the time. Busy lad, has a new record right on the way. And in celebration, he's on the road and visiting the hometown. Go see it while you can. He doesn't get back here as often as we'd like. Yeah, a couple of weeks, maybe less, down the road, the weekend of the 20th of May, Arta Whirl in Northeast Minneapolis. In addition to the expectable studio openings and art events all over Northeast Minneapolis, you will see music coming out of the walls and the sidewalks and all over that end of town. Grumpy's, the 331, and numerous other venues are having day-long music performance. Even if the weather continues, and let's face it, it's gotta get sunny sometime, it's worth taking a walk around Northeast that weekend. We'll see you there. And a little bit later, but it's probably time to go and look for your tickets. Cirque du Soleil returns, and they're bringing the big blue tent this time. They'll be out by Hugedale, as some of us call it. A few weeks back, right here in Studio A, I walked in a little unawares of the performers that we were going to see that night. And we hosted a lovely trio that was brought to us by a gentleman named Carl Franzen. And for me, it was one of those evenings on TC Muzique because I walked in and suddenly became aware that he had brought with him a guy to play guitar. A guy whose name just leapt out at me because I have been hearing it for so long that I just did not expect to have him gracing our stage. And at the end of that evening, not only had I had the great pleasure of hosting a show with him and Carl and their other friend, he asked if we would mind having him come back to do a performance of his own music. And as some other, perhaps wiser heads have stated, My mama didn't raise no dummy. I said yes. And therefore, we are proud this evening on TC Muzique to welcome Lonnie Knight.
What's that in the atmosphere? What's that subtle buzz? What is that what threatens who you is and what you does? You think you hold your fortune in the palm of your hands. Look out, kid, you're dancing on a patch of shifting sand. Just when dawn's about to break, nightmares can come true, and the angel-headed hipsters want to spend some time with you. Well, they're often hard to follow, and sometimes they're hard to see. They whisper of a major truth in a minor key, and just beneath the surface of the things you think you know, something's tuning up, and this town's about to blow. You can build a wall, go run and hide, it don't matter what you do, 'cause the angel-headed hipsters want to spend some time with you. Lace up your big old shoes and grab a cup of joe. Sit down with your voodoo doll, poke him in the nose. You're a victim of bad influence. Just watch that hoop snake roll. You don't get a backstage pass, just settle for the show. We've got a sacred mantra, it goes ooby-dooby-doo, and the angel-headed hipsters want to spend some time with you. Look under your bed, sugar. Look behind the door. They'll show you all you wanna see till you can't see no more. You're gonna need some brand new eyeballs in your pretty face. You're gonna need some brand new ears to help you find the place. The chances of you getting out are far between and few, and the angel-headed hipsters wanna spend some time with you. Time will play the trickster, and Lady Luck will sing the blues, and the angel-headed hipsters want to spend some time with you. Well, good evening and welcome to TC Muzique. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Mr. Swizzle. This is Reid Papke on the bass, folks. It don't matter if you is, it don't matter if you ain't. Sometimes love's about the tears, sometimes love's about the taint. Sometimes love is for the strong, sometimes love is for the faint. Love can make a saint out of a sinner, or a sinner from a saint. Well, it's the sweetest thing there is, it's the saddest curse I know. Lets you gamble in the sun, makes you stumble in the snow. From a lover's warm embrace to around a friendly fire, love will leave you standing on dry ground or dancing from a wire. And so here we are, caught in this world alone to roam. If love dropped breadcrumbs, we might find our way home. So we go walking in the dark, we go talking in the light. There's a flame without a spark, there's an end without a fight. Turning from the truth of dawn for the shelter of the night. Hiding from the very things we seek, though we search with all our might. And so here we are, caught in this world alone to roam. If love dropped breadcrumbs, we might find our way home. So what can we say to each other that we haven't already heard? And why should it make the least bit of difference if we're captivated by the words? I don't know. Now there are mysteries I can't explain. They touch us like a private rain. They spark along the pathways like echoes in a well. Through gaps in a maze we can see clearly and dimly. So we lay the armor down and we open up the doors. We let each other in. Do we ever really know what for? Like the pictures from a book in a language we don't know. We whisper the secrets in silence, home we all go. And so here we are, caught in this world alone to roam. If love dropped breadcrumbs, we might find our way home. And so here we are, caught in this world alone to roam. If love dropped breadcrumbs, we might find our way home. A couple of years ago, I wanted to write a song about puberty because I remembered an incident when a bunch of us were kids and we were riding our bicycles to a gravel pit and jumping off the edge down into this black water below, and we had no idea how deep the water was. And I started to think about how insane children are and what they do. And I knew it was puberty that caused us to do that. And so I wrote the first verse and then had absolutely nowhere to go with it. So I wound up writing a 4-act play about people in desperate situations with no answers, and about George Bush. And I used to say it was either about George Bush or Donald Trump, and now that Bush is out of the news and Trump is in the news, it still works. It was a hot summer night in the gravel pit. The water threw back the stars. We jumped feet first and the silence split into 1,000 chaotic shards. The ripples would run to the echoing sound of shrieking boys who could not drown. All those fires are burning too hard to tamp them down, so we jumped. Now mama said boys are the devilish kind. Stay away, baby girl, run and hide. As she grows there are schemes and big city dreams, but her heart won't believe mama lied. Just one kiss in the still of the night underneath the lamppost, washed in the light. This can't be all wrong, but it can't be all right, so she jumps. Little wars fought in the darkness of hearts that yearn for the touch of control, surrounded by mortals and pulled by the flesh, angels that speak to the soul. Is she waiting to fly? Is she waiting to fall? Is she listening to God or her own conscience call? She can't take that photograph down from her wall, so she jumps. Now he sits at the right hand of no one. His minions are ragged and wild. Peace on his lips, blood on his hands. It's a legacy left for the child. He gambled the world for his father's soul. Now the snake eats its tail. The juggernaut rolls, and an eye peers back through the Judas hole. And he jumps. And she jumps. And we jump.
Well, I think that's some sort of a title track, isn't it?
That's the title track, yes. How are you, sir?
I am so glad to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lonnie Knight. And over here on this beautiful, beautiful bass guitar, we have
Reid Papke.
Reid Papke. Papke. Okay, it's not as close to Kotsky as I thought. Well, we did mention title track, so I don't know if anybody can see this closely enough. Now, is this the most recent Lonnie Knight?
That's the brand new one.
Okay. This is one in a pretty long series, I'm willing to bet.
Oh, gosh. Started in the 1970s, if I dare go back that far. I did some albums for Symposium Records, produced by George Hansen, and then didn't do much of anything until the 90s and put out a couple albums with my band Big Shoes, which Reid was a part of. And then in 2005 released my first back-at-it acoustic album called Better Days. In 2008, I released one called I Wrote My Name on You, and then just a couple months ago, this one came out.
So you mentioned the original recordings way back when, a band sort of in the middle, and now acoustic Lonnie Knight again. Tell us a little bit about the long road, and how did you come just let's say to music to begin with?
Listening to the radio, it was back. I started in the '60s, listening to just whatever was out for rock and roll radio at the time, and people.
We had KDWB and WDGY Top 40 Radio.
Yep, and we started our first band in probably 1964 or 65, doing Ventures songs. And
were you the lead player?
I was one of the two lead players. It was myself and a fellow by the name of Dick Wiegand, who went on to be in Crow for a number of years. And Dick's still around the Twin Cities playing occasionally. And
a lot of us have come over the years. A lot of us have come and gone over the years. And many of us have decided that a day job is perhaps the way we either want to or have to go.
I do other things as well, but I'm really fortunate to be able to still be making at least a part of my living playing live music and recording. So
it's wonderful to see somebody that has a balance and can be productive, sort of supporting their music habit and continuing it after all these years.
Well, yeah, what you said. We'll just leave it at that.
There have been a lot of, I imagine, if you're anything like myself and a lot of people that I know, it's been a long and interesting trip, as they say. So, Reid, you have been with Lonnie before and for some time?
Yes, on and off for 30 years, I suppose. And here we are.
And you still get along, and you have?
Oh, yes. Better now than ever.
I think if you can hold out long enough, it gets to that point, doesn't it? What was the band like? Tell me something about the band.
Which one? We've had several. We're talking... we started out in the Knight Henley Band, named after Mr. Knight and Mark Henley. And
no relation to Don?
No.
Good.
That was a long time ago. And then we've done some, dabbled in some country in the 80s, and pretty much took the 90s off until 1999, Big Shoes. Here we are.
And indeed. On this record, So We Jump, are we going to hear just duets, or have you taken the liberty of adding things in the studio?
Oh, there's lots of other stuff on there. There's percussion. Reid's on quite a bit of it. Raj Taren, the keyboard player that was with us when we were on with Carl.
Raj, forgive me. I am so glad that somebody got your name in here.
And
brilliant.
Got a couple of different violin players on there. And I can't think now. And I do a lot of... there's a lot of acoustic guitar. A couple tracks have electric overdubs, and so it's still very acoustic feeling and very simple, but there's a lot of stuff going on underneath it.
I like that sort of sneaky approach to fattening things up a little bit. Tell me a little bit, for a moment at least, about writing songs. You've been doing it for a while. You have any general ideas or tips for erstwhile young songwriters?
I wish I did. There's the old saw, write what you know. And then I heard from somebody, and I really liked this. They said, write what you... I can't remember what came in the middle, but it ultimately came down to write what you don't want people to know about yourself, because then you're really touching down deep into your psyche, And I kind of like that. The other thing, and we'll get to that because I made this mistake twice, is never write songs using the real name of someone that you've dated.
I can see where that might be problematic. First of all, you try to write something that's very complimentary, and depending on how things go in the long run, it leaves you in trouble perhaps with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like getting tattooed. You're sort of stuck with it forever.
Remember, you're going to have to live with this for a while.
Indeed, yeah. I'm not a terribly prolific songwriter, and I envy people like my friend Jeff Dayton in Nashville, and the people that can just sit down and treat it like a job, and still write well. I've heard a lot of songwriters that just get into the mill syndrome, and that's what they're putting out is just A B C D A B C D A B C D stuff. But then there are people like Jeff who can sit down, approach it like a job, and still write from the heart. I have to sit around and wait for the muse to come up and kick me in the butt, and I'm still trying to figure out how to start, grabbing the muse when I feel like it, not when it feels like it.
Two stories that I got from my friend Peter Jesperson. One is of a guy named Joe Henry, who writes some marvelous things, and apparently every morning Joe gets up, fixes breakfast, gets his son off to school, and then he goes upstairs to his office where he writes songs. 8 hours a day, just like anybody else goes to work. But I think my favorite song is about another friend of ours, Jack Logan, who was working on his second album at a little recording studio in Indiana. And Jack likes school sports. So he went into town one evening to see the Crescent Center high school basketball game. On his way out of the studio, he said, "Okay, while I'm gone, I want you to come up with a song that's 3 verses, 2 choruses, 4 chords, all right?" And he walks out. He comes back, and the guys in the band have been working on it, and they say, "Okay, here's the way it sounds." And he goes, "Okay." And he grabs a little scrap of paper and a pencil and sits down and writes a song for it. And then record it right then and there on the spot. And it wasn't bad.
That's great when that can happen, yeah.
Wouldn't you just love to be somebody who could do that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the kind of soul-searching depth that some people might wish, or that might be considered of obvious value to some folks. But there are people that can turn out these well-crafted, as your friend in Nashville, well-crafted pop songs. They're not necessarily going to shake the world, but there's something you can listen to 1,000 times over. And I guess I have probably said more than enough. We have records that people can buy, I assume?
Yep. They're all available on my website. The later things are available on CD Baby and iTunes and all of the digital outlets.
And your website is?
It's LonnieKnight.com.
All right. I believe we have some overlays of shows that you're about to play. Why don't we mention them while we have a chance here?
Well, because then I have to remember them. That's why I carry a calendar.
I have a book that goes in my back pocket all the time, or I too would be lost.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Reed and I are over at a place called Ingredients in White Bear Lake at 7 o'clock. And then next Friday, we're at a place in Egan called Pardon My French. And then I believe on June 30th, it's myself and Reed and Arndt, Carl's band. It's a split bill at the Lake Harriet Band Shell on the Monday. I think 30th is a Monday. Yeah, May 30th. Yeah. What did I say? June. Oh, good. Yeah, see?
May 30th, coming up even sooner.
May 30th, yeah.
On a night like that, would there be the possibility of people just sitting down and doing some impromptu get-togethers?
I don't doubt that Rajda will sit in on our set for a few tunes. Yeah, I hope so.
All right, opportunities. Many opportunities coming up in the very near future. And I must thank you both once again for coming here and proving how much we are blessed here in the Twin Cities. And I must say I feel blessed particularly here on TC Muzique. Ladies and gentlemen, Lonnie Knight Reid. It's all about the music.
This train runs to Chicago. This highway's headed west. There's coffee across the street. We better get some for the drive. Tell me about the weather, darling, and hold me to your breast. 'Cause I can't look too deep at what's inside. It's funny how a little thing like 30 years can simply disappear. I look into your eyes, I know why I live and breathe. If I could hold you here forever, there'd be no room for fear. But the coffee's getting cold, my car's warmed up, your train's about to leave. Some folks only get one chance, so far we've had two. But time and tide are funny things, no one can tell what they will do. Summer left and winter called, across the miles and through it all, one thing, just one thing rings true. I loved you like no other, they can say that on my stone. I may never love another. You're always in that part of me that wanders at a starry night and cries out to the moon when I can't find the answers to this mystery. So many doors have opened, so many doors have closed. Ah, but you and I, we travel on down roads we never chose. The pundits always tell us things happen for a reason and a purpose. Well, I suppose I saw you just the other day on a street not far from home, with a smile upon your lips, a teardrop in your eye. If you wonder why I didn't stop to say hello, well, it hurts too much to have to say goodbye. That's called 1,300 Miles. Let's do Hero for Sale. All right, second fret or third for me. I always forget. B? Thank you. See, that's why we work together, because I can't remember these things sometimes. The ring stands empty, the hour is late. The bell has tolled the final round, the crowd has hit the gate. In the stench of beer and the cigar smoke, the trainer shakes his head, and as the blood begins to pale, the canvas tells a tale of a hero for sale. just a poor boy in a poor town with a muscle in your arm. Friday nights you watch the fights all day, you work the farm. Now that punch could take you out of here to riches and to fame, and so you sign the dotted line. You put on that suit of mail, you become a hero for sale. Well, at first you wanted anything, then you wanted more. Then you wanted everything that you never had before. So you gave it on the cheap for a promise that was never gonna lead you to the grail. The truth is hard as nails when you're a hero for sale. The purse is never much, the towns all look the same. The brawlers all have hungry eyes and you can't recall their names. But each one brings a leather fist, a killer shot, and it's too late to pack it in and bail. You've been swallowed by the whale, you're just a hero for sale. Lift a glass to Patterson and a toast to Cassius Clay. There'll be no songs for you, no victor's wreath today. When they tear the tape off and your hands begin to swell and you can barely hold the wheel for another drive to hell, it's just the next stop on the circuit for a hero for sale. We're going to do a drinking song. A little water to get in the mood without. Have a drink with me, Susie. The night has just begun. Life is just a dance with simple moves. Put on your high-heeled shoes. We'll turn all night beneath the moon and kiss the morning sun. Have a drink with me, Susie. Winter's coming on. There's far too many yesterdays to number. They haunt me in my slumber when evening comes too early and it's further to the dawn. Burns away the promises we dream. On On and on, I'm reaching for the answers, little shadow dancers for a soul I can't redeem. Have a drink with me, Susie, we'll turn the clamor down. There's too many fools in this line, with their mouths open wide and their hands out and they're grabbing and their permanent frowns. Have a drink with me, Susie, we'll drink to kingdom come. We'll march that final mile side by side, with our sins and our pride. You'll be Tweedledee and I'll be Tweedledum, too dumb to know which way to turn. On and on, we're reaching for the answers, little shadow dancers for a lesson we can't learn. Have a drink with me, Susie, the walls are closing in. Don't ask me how I'm feeling, 'cause it's a secret and I ain't squealing. Hey, honestly, I don't know where to begin. Have a drink with me, Susie, this night is fading fast. When it's all been said and done, we'll blow the stars out one by one and try to keep this moment safe, 'cause nothing ever lasts. It's called Have a Drink with Me, Susie. We're going to do the probably the only cover song that we'll do this evening. I keep watching the world falling apart around us. And this is a song by Patty Griffin, a little song of hope. Red lights are flashing on the highway. I wonder if we're gonna ever get home. I wonder if we're gonna ever get home tonight. Everywhere the water's getting rough. Your best intentions may not be enough. I wonder if we're gonna ever get home. If you break down, I'll drive out and find you. If you forget my love, I'll try to remind you. Stay by you when it don't come easy. I don't know nothing except change is gonna come. Year after year what we do is undone. And time keeps moving from a crawl to a run. I wonder if we're gonna ever get home. You're out there walking down the highway, and all the signs get blown away. Sometimes it feels like you're walking in the wrong direction. But if you break down, I'll drive out and find you. If you forget my love, I'll try to remind you. Stay by you when it don't come easy. When it don't come easy. So many things that I had before, they don't matter to me now. Tonight I'll cry for the loves I've lost and the love I've never found. When the last bird falls and the last siren sounds, someone will say what's been said before. It's only love we were looking for. But if you break down, I'll drive out and find you. If you forget my love, I'll try to remind you. Stay by you when it don't come easy. When it don't come easy. If you break down, I'll drive out and find you. If you forget my love, I'll try to remind you. Stay by you when it don't come easy. When it don't come easy. I got one. The first time I saw Miss Claudia, I was a young man looking for a thrill. She was as lovely as the day was long, and I was drunker than $100 bill. I was lying on my feet, she was soft and sweet. It must be something she said took hold of my head. Miss Claudia, what's a boy to do? Miss Claudia, I fell in love with you. The next time I saw Miss Claudia, I was older but not too smart. It must be something I said. She came upside of my head with a left hook straight to my heart. And I was lying on my feet, but I was easily beat. It took her just one look, and she read me like a book. Miss Claudia, what's a boy to do? Miss Claudia, you know that I'm still in love with you. My words cut like a switchblade knife. She drifted right out of this poor boy's life. She left me standing with my head in my hands, my heart at my feet. I fell down heart, I took myself around the world. I never knew that I was looking for that same sweet girl. Before I ever got started, my trip was complete, right back in my own front yard. Well, I think I'll go and see Miss Claudia, and I won't be that fool again. She's gonna sashay in a little saint, a little sin. This is how the story ought to end. With a lover's reunion, a kiss 'neath the moon, we'll be light on our feet, dancing down the street, Miss Claudia. Now what's a boy to do? Miss Claudia, you know that I've got my eyes on you. Miss Claudia, baby, I'm still in love with you. I'm in love with you. Got my eyes on you. Well, you know, it's always, and it's an interesting thing playing without an audience. It's bright lights in our eyes, and there's a couple of guys on cameras wandering around, and it is very quiet, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of don't want to pull out the arena rock songs in a situation like this. We've got time, I think, for a couple more, so. Can't touch bottom from here. I can see forever. The water's crystal clear. The waves are rising, the sky is surprisingly near. There is no shoreline, no lighthouse, no foghorn, no slap of an oar. Am I in league with the sea? Am I imprisoned, or am I where I wish to be? I simply float with the swell. Am I damned? Am I free? Matrix and fractals and wheels within wheels, I am part of what's coming and what came before. I can't touch bottom from here. The waves are rising and the sky is just a smear in my eyes. I see no angels, no devils in sailors' disguise. No port of call, no landfall, no seawall. Just like my brother, my father, my mother, their sons and their daughters, we're all treading water. That's called treading water. I'm sure that Mr. Swizzo is going to hold up his hands here any minute and give us like a 3-minute warning or something so that we at least have a vague idea of how we're getting out of this mess we've gotten ourselves into. 2. Great. All right. Say what? Who'da thunk it? Time flies when you're having this much fun. We're going to finish up with this one then. Thanks, Swizzo. Come down and see me when I'm old and gray. Come down and see me and I'll sing for you. That's the only joy I have that time can't take away. The song, the word, the day, and a broken wing. Melodies of life I've tuned to simple chords. I am pagan in tomorrow's eyes. I am moved by promises of sad rewards, and I'm sheltered neath the touch of a broken wing. Broken wing, I call to you, fall through your sky. Broken heart, I'll sing for you, bring you to life. I'll give you shelter from the night. I will fly among the stars on trails of light. I will leave a message in my wake. I will ply my silver oars through wounded nights, and my guide will be a bird with a broken wing. I will love and hate and not apologize. I will let the rainbow wear my shoes. I will welcome death when life is realized, and I will dance behind a bird with a broken wing. Broken wing, I call to you, fall through your sky. Broken heart, I'll sing for you, bring you to life. And I'll give you shelter from the night. So come down and see me when I'm old and gray. Come down and see me and I'll sing for you. That's the only joy I have that time can't take away. The song, the word, the day, and a broken